Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Modern Mining. Today I've got something super interesting to discuss. It's basically a way to compound all of your mining rewards. Basically, the more power you use, the more profitability you're gonna make. And that's what we're gonna discuss in this video is this Waba smart plug. So Waba reached out to me. They are a brand new crypto, still actually in the test net, but they have a outlet that is going to pay you Waba tokens based on the amount of power that you're using. Now I know that sounds kind of crazy, and my first thought when I got this is, how the heck does this thing even work? How can a company pay you for your power usage? But the more I learned about it, it actually does make sense. And unlike some of the other smart plug videos I've seen, this one actually has a real use case and a working app and stuff. So we're gonna take a look at it today and see if this is potentially worth getting. Another key thing is I'm actually gonna be giving away 10 of these to anybody who comments on this video. So be sure to leave a comment on this video, like the video, and be subscribed to Modern Mining, and then I will be selecting 10 people to get free Waba plugs. So we're gonna do a deep dive on these today, but first I wanna kind of just describe the project, because I know when I first heard of it, I was pretty hesitant on it, but the more that I spoke to the developers, it actually is a pretty cool use case. So I'm sure you guys heard a couple years ago how Texas was having all of these blackouts during the summer because basically their grid was not fit to have all these people running their AC at the exact same time. It was causing it to have blackouts. And that leads to programs like demand response programs, where companies can actually pay you to turn off your power during certain hours to essentially prevent the grid from going down. And that's what Waba is planning on doing. Waba is trying to make basically a global marketplace for demand response events, allowing power companies to get on Waba and use Waba tokens to pay miners or other people to actually turn off electricity. And that's where the profit comes in from Waba and how they're able to actually pay people to use power. So essentially, Waba is like a proof of work coin where your hash rate is your power usage. The more power usage you have, the more hash rate technically, and the more coins that's gonna get paid out. But the other factor of that is that companies can get on to Waba and they can go onto the website, and I'll show you this in a shortly, and create a demand response event and basically pay Waba tokens for users of these plugs to turn off their device. And essentially you're going to be getting paid more money than you would make mining to turn off your rigs. So that's a super interesting concept, and I guess kind of the main thing behind it is that we need more people using this and more companies learning about it and then therefore using it. But it's pretty interesting that not only do you just mine the coins and are able to earn Waba, but companies can go on there and pay you to turn off your rigs, and you're still gonna be making money. So you don't have to put these things on crypto rigs. You can put them on your fridge or basically anything that uses electricity, but you want it to be on stuff that you wouldn't mind turning off. In case those demand response events come through, you don't have any problem turning off a mining rig, but you probably don't want to turn off your fridge. So you got to think about stuff like that. So let's go show you guys how I am using these. I've got 3 of these plugs. 2 of them are already plugged in. We're gonna set this one up in this video and see how much Waba I've earned, how profitable are they, and if it's worth you guys picking some of these up. Let's check it out. So where I've got these things plugged in right now is I have one plug in my family room here that I'm running my Jazz miner off. This is running about 650 watts, and it's all going through the Waba smart plug. So you can see here the brand is Cernerva, and that's just basically the company that Waba has partnered with. But the distributor for these is C-Star, and they are actually the company who helped develop all the helium devices. So definitely a well-known company in C-Star. So you can see here we've got a power switch on the side, so you can actually just turn this off by using that little switch, similar to any other smart plug. And you can also do that through the dashboard, which I'll show you shortly. Now, excuse the mess, but my other one is powering my 2 KS0 Ultras. These are up here mining off of this Duroc power supply, and I've got that power supply going off these smart plugs. So let's check out what the interface looks like online and see how much am I making off this. Before we check out the dashboard, I'm gonna go ahead and plug this in, and I'm gonna plug it in to that power strip right there. And before you start trying to pair this thing, you just wanna make sure that that blue icon is flashing, and that means you're ready to go. All right, guys, before we set this thing up, if you're interested in learning more about Waba, check out wabanetwork.org. This is where they have all the information about their project. A couple cool things on here is their introduction video here. This is a great kind of explanation on what they're trying to accomplish with the Waba project. And then also, this is pretty interesting, this little map here that's showing basically where all the Waba smart plugs are enabled right now. In total, you can see it looks like 32.78 megawatts are being monitored by Waba plugs right now, so that's pretty promising as well. Let's get into how to set this thing up. So once you get a device and plug it in, you want to go to portal.wabanetwork.org, and I'll also show you this right here. Scan that if you want. This is going to basically give you the instructions on how to set your device up. So you need to connect with a wallet, and I recommend connecting with MetaMask, but I would honestly make a brand new MetaMask wallet. I definitely would not hook this up with like one that already has a ton of Ethereum on it or something like that. Always go safety first when you're going to be hooking up to different apps and stuff. Just make a brand new one so you don't have really any risk, because your new MetaMask wallet is where your Waba is going to get deposited to. So I've already created a MetaMask wallet, brand new, and then you need to confirm the signature, and then it's going to log you into the web page here. So once you get logged in, you're going to have a home page where you've got a map of the US, and you can see this is my plug right here. You can also go to the dashboard page here, and this is going to show your different devices. So my Waba 1 device, this is the one that has the Jazz miner on it, and it's running about 682 watts. And you can look at this over a day period or over a month period, and it's going to give you your kilowatt hour readings. And then you can also switch this over to your other plugs to see your other plugs. Now to add a new device, you go down here to add a new device, which we will do shortly. In the wallet, you can see how much you've made over the past few days. Now, if you hover over, it's going to show you the exact quantity of Waba. So 0.0006. Now, the thing about Waba being in testnet is that Waba technically does not have a price yet. So that's one thing that we unfortunately don't know how profitable this is going to be. But we do know that the people who get in early are generating more Waba than people who are getting in late, because there's not a lot of these devices that are up and running yet. So it definitely is sort of a gamble if you're mainly looking at it financially. But it's pretty cool that you can go on here and see how much Waba you generated each day. And you show your wallet up here with how much Waba you have. And I have a little bit in here, so I'm going to hit claim. And this will actually deposit it into my MetaMask account. And there we go. We can see my second claim history. I claimed on 12/16 and also 12/20. And if I open my MetaMask right here, we can see I've got 0.0034 Waba. So hopefully this is like $1,000 a coin, but really we won't know. And if I didn't mention, they have told me that this should be going live around January 1st. So hopefully around that time period, this goes from testnet to mainnet and gets on an exchange. So we'll actually be able to kind of get a price point and see how much these plugs are actually making. So let's go over how to attach this thing. You want to go ahead and scan the QR code that comes in the plug, and then it's going to pull up this guide here. You want to go to portal.wabanetwork.org, and this is where you're going to need to connect your MetaMask wallet. So I went ahead and just downloaded the MetaMask app, made a totally new wallet, so I'm not signing anything on a wallet that has potentially a bunch of coins on it. And then once you do that, you're going to be able to log into the browser here. And then once you get logged in, you're going to want to go ahead and manually put in /dashboard. Right now, this is a little bit funky. But once you get to this page, you're going to be able to add a device down there at the bottom. So once you hit add a device, you need to make sure that the blue button is flashing, and then you're going to put in your zip code here. This is not my exact, but somewhere close. From here, you want to go ahead and connect to the Cinnova Wi-Fi network. This is going to allow you to actually connect to the device and then give it your password for your internal Wi-Fi. So select your internal Wi-Fi and put in your password here. I'll have to blur all this out. And then you want to hit confirm. And that's going to actually get the plug connected to your Wi-Fi. Now there's a couple last steps here. So you need to copy this code that it gives you and then go back to the original tab and go ahead and input the device name and then attach it to that code or device ID it just gave you. Hit next, and then it's going to actually do the connection, and from there you should be good to go. All right, so unfortunately you do have to do that process on your phone right now, but they are working on making it easier to do through the browser. So now you can see I've got all three of my Waba plugs here. I need to figure out what I want to plug into the Waba 2. One downside of these things right now is that they're only on 120 volt. They don't make like a 240 volt PDU plug, which I think is something they are going to work on. By the way, probably try to keep these under around 1300 watts. I think they could go higher, but you always want to play it safe. You don't want to leave like a wattage tester plugged in 24/7 to a mining rig. So this is a little bit better than that, but still not much. So definitely don't run it all out 1500 plus watts. But I think I'm probably going to plug this into maybe my main editing PC or one of my GPU mining rigs once I move those inside. Okay, so Waba has a online portal right here, but I do recommend using the Telegram app long term. So you can copy your verification code here, and this is going to allow you to paste that into the Waba bot on Telegram. So if you hit right here, open on Telegram, and then hit open Telegram desktop, it's going to open this page here, and then you can basically type in your code, and then it's going to link your Telegram account to your bot. So from here, then you can hit this menu button and go to portal and launch. And once you pull that up, you can see it's basically an exact version of the web page, but in a Telegram app that's a bit more responsive. The last thing I want to show here is the demand response events. So you don't have to be a power company to publish a demand response event. Technically anybody can do it. If I want my neighbors to start using less power and they have Waba plugs, then I can do it. So I could click create a new event right here, and then I want to do conserve energy, and let's just say 1000 kilowatt hours, and I'm willing to pay 2000 Waba, or actually since Waba's going to be hopefully pretty expensive since I'm only getting fractions of it, let's say 5 Waba starting on Friday and then going to Monday, and then I'll just say save power as my title, and then we'll just make this a test, and then you can actually select where you want it to happen. So we want to go in this Louisville area here, and then hit publish, and it's going to say that I do not have enough Waba to do this, but this is where people could actually run one of these events if they wanted to. So pretty cool. It'll be interesting to see how often this feature gets used. I think we're going to need a lot more people with these plugs until something like that becomes common, but definitely in places where the power grid struggles, I could see power companies using something like this to kick unnecessary power like crypto miners off of the network. So don't forget, guys, leave a comment down below if you want to win potentially one of the 10 Waba plugs I'm giving away for free. And thank you for watching, and especially thank you to Waba for sponsoring this video. I think they're running a pretty awesome project, and I'm excited to see what happens when they go mainnet, what is the price going to look like, and how much are these plugs actually making per day. All very exciting stuff. I will catch you guys next time. As always, thanks for watching Modern Mining.